With each new season of the Beyblade Metal series, more and more new characters were introduced. In Metal Masters, it was Masamune, Deshayan, Damien, and Julian, just to name a few. And then in Metal Fury, it was all of the new legendary bladers. In my opinion, this was a good move. Adding new characters keeps things fresh, and it creates more opportunities for great battles. But my only problem with introducing a bunch of new characters each season is that characters from previous seasons are forced to take a step back in importance. Now, this step back can be very minor, where we still see a character actively stay in the story, like Masamune in Metal Fury, or it can be a major step back where we never see the character again, like Reggie. Those are just two examples on opposite ends of the spectrum, but the Metal series is full of characters who were forced to take a step back just like this. And out of every character that suffered this fate, I'm not sure anyone got it worse than Yu. Now, he still ended up being a great character who accomplished a lot. I mean, he's a world champion, but there's no denying that he was forced to take a huge step back. And just to make this clear, when I say he took a step back, I'm not saying he got weaker, I'm just saying that his character got less important. When we first met Yu midway through Metal Fusion, he was just a little kid who wanted to have fun with Beyblade. Or at least that's what everyone thought, until it was revealed that Yu was actually a boy genius who had already been recruited into the Dark Nebula as their second strongest blader. Yu's big introduction came in the survival battle arc, where he showed off just how strong he was. In a battle consisting of Jinga and Kyoya, Yu was the last one standing. That's pretty impressive. I will say that Kyoya's Beyblade was heavily damaged and he was forced to withdraw, but still, Yu defeated a full power Jinga in this battle. Previously, we'd only ever seen Ryuga beat Jinga, but now this little kid comes along out of nowhere. Yu immediately put the Beyblade world on notice with this victory and became a top tier blader in Japan. Then Battle Bladers comes around and he and Jinga have their rematch. Jinga wins it. It was an amazing battle. But then we're introduced to Reggie. We find out that Yu was never meant to be the Dark Nebula's second blader. It was going to be Reggie all along. Yu is then kind of forced to battle Reggie at the Dark Nebula headquarters, and to be honest, it was very one-sided. Reggie was pretty much just bullying him, and Yu couldn't do a single thing about it, because Reggie's poison had already settled into Libra. There's an argument that Yu should have been able to compete a little bit more, and it should have been closer, but in my opinion, this just goes to show how strong Reggie really was. Yu then escapes the battle, and he joins Jinga's friend group, and that's pretty much it for Season 1. Even though he lost in the first round of Battle Bladers, and kinda got bullied by Reggie, he's still top 6 in Battle Bladers. I mean, if there were power rankings, he definitely dropped some spots since the survival battle, but he's still a top tier blader in Metal Fusion. The real step back happens in Metal Masters. As we remember, Yu was the sub-member of Gang Gang Galaxy, which honestly was the right move. Jinga's the leader, Tsubasa's stronger, and Masamune's the new character. You can't really make the new character the sub, so Yu being the sub makes sense. But regardless if this makes sense or not, it's still a tiny step backwards for Yu's character. I mean, he went from a guy who beat Jinga in a battle to being a substitute member of Gang Gang Galaxy. Now, I said this was a tiny step back because being a sub isn't the end of the world. As a sub, he still could have had important battles, and he could have still remained a very important character, but the problem is, he didn't. The truth is, almost all of his battles in the World Championships didn't really matter that much in terms of his character. But before I start reviewing all of his battles, I will say that the writers did a great job of including him in matchups, even though he is a substitute. Like, when I first found out he was going to be a sub, I thought he wasn't really going to battle all that much, but he actually had a decent amount of battles. His first came in the matchup with Team Lavushka. Masamune was out, and Tsubasa was still uneasy about battling again with the Dark Power, so Yu got to make his World Championship debut. This battle was definitely an interesting test for his character because his special move wasn't working thanks to the rigged stadium. He got frustrated, if I remember correctly, but Jinga reminded him that he is the boy genius, and with that, Yu eventually found a way to win. And this battle was actually pretty great for his character. He overcame adversity and proved why people call him a genius. But unfortunately, it's downhill from here for Yu's importance as a character. The next battle Yu participated in was the tag team against Wild Fang, and he just didn't do much. This battle more so focused on Benkei and Damore's teamwork, and then of course Tsubasa. This battle showed us that Tsubasa's dark power had just become a huge problem. So with the spotlight on Tsubasa, Yu was just kind of there in the background. Fast forwarding to Yu's next battle, we have another tag team of him and Tsubasa versus Sophie and Wales. This tag team battle saw Tsubasa again take the center stage as the main focus. This is when he finally overcame the dark power, which made for an amazing scene. He then unleashed a new special move which won the battle for Team Japan. This was Tsubasa's time to shine, so naturally, Yu took a backseat in this battle as well. I personally think that this was the best decision because I'm a huge fan of the Dark Tsubasa storyline, and this was its conclusion. But that's now 2 back-to-back battles where Yu was kind of just there in the background. Now fast forwarding to Yu's final contribution in the World Championships, we have the matchup with the Garcias. Yu didn't really play a huge role in this matchup, but I can't even blame him. He literally got jumped by the Garcias, which left him and Libra injured. There's an argument that Yu should have been able to protect himself here, and getting hurt that bad by the Garcias is a step back for his character. I can see some people argue that Yu in Season 1 wouldn't have gotten jumped like that, but I'm giving him a pass. Enzo set up a whole elaborate scheme by running around in alleyways, only to lead Yu straight to Argo. Argo then hit Yu with the cheapest shot of all time, which is what caused him to get hurt. Yu, being the dog that he is, still tried to battle in the World Championship matchups, but Libra was still damaged, and this led to Enzo's victory. If we fast forward a bit more, Damien injures both Yu and Tsubasa ahead of their finals match, and that's it. Yu has some other minor contributions in the Hades City arc, but that's it for Metal Masters. So to recap, he had a pretty meaningful battle against Alexei, but in every other matchup, he took a backseat to someone else. Now, I'm not arguing that Yu should have been the main focus or anything like that. I'm just pointing out that he went from the second best member of the Dark Nebula, who beat Jinga, to only really having one meaningful battle in the World Championships as a sub. At the end of the day though, I really like Yu's character, but I feel like he could have been a bit more useful in Metal Masters. But let me know what you think about Yu's character. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.